Being recorded. This
Animal
call
Day.
Bye.
Where's Layla's animal?
Mine's over there.
On the screen. Oh, there she is. Oh, Animal Day.
Oh,
If you don't have an animal, you can check out the call.
go. All right.
You want to keep going in the manual for teachers?
Yes. Oh yeah, I like that.
Me too.
We're teachers now.
Yeah. Indeed we are. You know, the course says there is no teaching without learning, and there is no learning without teaching. And if you are doing one without the other, you're actually not doing it.
For sure. I love it.
Not doing either. Which is a wonderful thing, right? Because I had many years where I was trying to be a teacher, and my idea of teaching was I already had learned it, and so there is no learning if you're a teacher. But you know, that's the person that's separate from you, is better than you, has figured it out, has and then that person, often there's no conversation, there's no back and forth, there's no restructuring the information in a different way through conversation. All those things have to do with learning. And so because of that, you know, there's been plenty of times looking back on it, I was saying things confidently that I didn't, you know, in hindsight, I didn't agree with. Be in the weird echo chambers and, you know, be in a fantasy that what you're saying is true. But if you're the teacher, you have nothing to, you can just believe this fantasy. Or the other way around, right? You can be just a learner and be missing opportunities to bless other people by giving away these wonderful things, wonderful concepts. Okay. Well,
okay.
You want to read who are God's teachers?
I don't have my book out.
Oh, we were on honesty.
Want to keep going where we were?
Or sorry. Oh, we never started from the beginning, huh?
We didn't. Who are God's teachers is 1, or we can continue on 4.
You can do who are God's teachers. Want me to read?
Sure.
Thank you.
Did you want to announce the section we're on? Or
yeah. Sure. Manual for teachers. We're starting on chapter 1. Who are God's teachers?
A teacher of God is anyone who chooses to be one. His qualifications consist solely in this: somehow, somewhere, he has made a deliberate choice in which he did not see his interests as apart from someone else's. Once he has done that, his road is established and his direction is sure. A light has entered the darkness. It may be a single light, but that is enough. He has entered an agreement with God, even if he does not yet believe in him. He has become a bringer of salvation. He has become a teacher of God.
Duh! You made it. So that key part right there, where you see your interest in another. And by the way, everything is structured in the masculine just because it's taking on the language of the template. And the template was Helen Schuckman, I think her name was. She loved, she was whatever she was. She thought God would speak in a like a biblical context, and she loved Shakespeare. And so it came out in this iambic pentameter, I think it's called. It's like the Shakespearean form where it comes out in certain, I forget the definitions of iambic pentameter or whatever it's called. It's like certain syllables per sentence, and then also in the context as if it was a scripture. And so scripture has a tendency to just call everybody he in the masculine tense, but it's definitely not a he or a she. It's just general. But he sees his interests as the same. That's one of the characteristics of the teacher. And so one of the characteristics that we're missing the mark and probably suffering and have an enemy is you see interests different. And so subtle shifts, we can always see interests the same. It's always there. At a very minimum, we all want to be happy. You're like, you want to be happy? I want to be happy. And then we can get all specific about why our interests are different and why we should fight. But how can we get more general and discover that we do have the same interests? Always. It's always an opportunity for that. Can we get more specific and see that we have different interests and find ways to fight? Always. We could always have that opportunity. So that's the muscle of finding similar interests.
Mm-hmm. They come from all over. Did you have something to add, Leila? Good.
What?
Did you have something to add or
No,
continue?
my focus today as we read and learn is just repairing that relationship with my sister-in-law. So I'm trying to view everything through, like it said, a mutual
Shared interest.
shared interest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hitting strong for me too, because what's coming up for me this week, it's basically month end, because next week most people are going to be off, and yeah, there's all that. So I'm finding myself still just very focused on my list, because we all underwriters get a production list of loans we have to do, and then anybody I'm finding myself that anybody who takes me away from my list and tries to get me to look at a loan that is not on my list is my enemy. So I'm like,
destroy them.
Or get them off of your back, get them lost so that they can't attack my time. And so working on it. Anyway, okay, so paragraph 2. They come from all over the world. They come from all religions and from no religion. They are the ones who have answered. The call is universal. It goes on all the time, everywhere. It calls for teachers to speak for it and redeem the world. Many hear it, and it is capitalized, but few will answer. Yet, it is all a matter of time. Everyone will answer in the end, but the end can be a long, long way off. It is because of this that the plan of the teachers was established. Their function is to save time. Each one begins as a single light, but with the call at its center, it is a light that cannot be limited. And each one saves 1,000 years of time as the world judges it. To the call itself, capitalized, time has no meaning.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the function is to save time, and it's referring to the dynamic that we're all in, that no one's lost, no one's not going to make it, no one is being punished, no one is outside the grace of God or unredeemable, no one is bad, no one's actually the enemy. And so what's happened when we perceive any of those things to be true is that we're just in this process of discovering that the heaven, like the heaven that we're searching for, the life, the peace, the satisfaction that we're searching for through, making other people happy, or accomplishment, or hoping someone else sees our true intention, or making your puppy stop barking at you. Whatever, right? All these things they're just our opportunity to let it go. And the lesson that we have gets more complicated and more unique for our situation, so that it's harder to let go. But it's not harder for the sake of punishment. It's harder just because it's revealing, life is revealing in more specific ways our particular, our unique attachments. And that's why it's always hard. What the heck? Life shows up again. It's hard again. I thought I dealt with this. Why is this doing? Why, God, why? And it's not a new punishment. It's just a new revelation of the thing that I get to let go. And so the faster I can let go of that idea, which was forgiveness in the context of this non-dual, letting my perception go, it saves me time. And what's the time it's saving? Well, it's saving hours and days and years and thousands of years of suffering is what it's saving. But we don't have to. We can do it forever if we want, supposedly. That's it. Lifetimes.
There is a course for every teacher of God. The form of the course varies greatly. So do the particular teaching aids involved. But the context of the course never changes. Its central theme is always, God's Son is guiltless, and in his innocence is his salvation. Quote, quote. It can be taught by actions or thoughts, in words or soundlessly, in any language or in no language, in any place or time or manner. It does not matter who the teacher was before he heard the call. He has become a savior by his answering. He has seen someone else as himself. He has therefore found his own salvation and the salvation of the world. In his rebirth is the world reborn.
All right. So the course has a tendency of summing up the whole course all constantly. And so here's another summation. God's Son is guiltless, and his innocence is his salvation. And so you can use that as looking at the other. You're guiltless, and in your innocence, you're free. Or you can use that as you're guiltless, and in your innocence, I'm free. Because the perception of guilt is what binds us both. And it's because my perception for you is my experience of life. So if I experience you as a friend, I experience a friendly world, which is what I want. Isn't that, it's wonderful. We're walking around with this puppy, and everyone's coming up to us like, oh my gosh, hi, strangers. And I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to be Carolyn. Everyone's so nice to you and wants to talk to you. And it's just like, oh my gosh. And it's like this person that is so abundantly pleased to see you. And it's everybody. Crazy. Like, wow, is everybody your friend with a puppy? Maybe so. And why is that? Well, it's this random circumstance where people say, well, it's okay to be overly friendly and excited beyond belief to a stranger. When does that happen? Well, when you have a puppy. Yeah. Are there other times? I don't know if there's other times, but it's crazy to walk around in the world's a friend, and the world's like your lover and your intimate friend, like, yeah, and your intimate friend that you haven't seen in a long time, and it's exciting, and it's a wonderful feeling. So is that available all the time? Well, it is, but it's like they turned it on, the other person, they saw you as good and friendly and worthy of being cherished because of this unique circumstance they had in their mind. Puppy makes it safe. I'm going to open up. When I open up, I get to experience this beautiful thing of engaging with this other person that's safe. Why is that with a puppy? I don't know. I guess the puppy's innocent. Puppy's innocent. Well, that's what the text said. So we see innocence. Can I see innocence in the asshole? I guess that's the tricky part, right? Because what's the innocent part of the asshole? Well, that's when you go back to sameness. Someone pestering you, Sue, the loan officer pestering you. Well, what's the innocent part? Well, just like the puppy barking at me, they just want to be happy. They want to be satiated. The puppy wants to pee or poop. The puppy wants food. Once those things are met, the puppy wants to play.
And for reasons unknown to them, they are incapable of reading the email that I sent them and make sense of it.
Puppy cannot read the email.
No.
So what happens though? I have a similar experience with brokers, loan officers, because I would never answer my phone call because I just had too many of them, and I wanted everybody just to email me only because they had a scenario. And so I would never answer, and they would call, and I would always just auto text them, email me. My voicemail said, email me. I'm not going to call you. And they would call anyway. I'm like, I'm not going to call because you want to chat, and I just need the data for the scenario, and I don't want to hear your story. And it would just bother me because every once in a while I get tricked, and I'd be talking to them, and they'd be telling me their story, and I'd be like, oh, it's like angry, because now they're trying to convince me of like this risk mitigating guideline that I made, right? I'm like, I don't want to hear your story. So they would just bother me so much. But fast forward it, new perspective. Now I answer every call that these brokers are making because my email that they have is the wrong email. It's not going to me anymore. It's the old company. So I catch every call so that they know for sure that it's a new email. Jevon at myridge.loans. Don't do the JCAP email.
How's that going?
It's going good. It's going good.
But answering the calls.
Oh yeah. So that's the thing is, I make the call. I want the call because of my new context, and my conversations are actually really good. They're very pleasant. They're always nice people, right? They're trying to get what they want. They're on their best behavior, calling the money, and I've had wonderful engagements. They're actually enjoyable calls. And from me making calls, since I understand how to structure deals, I'm actually making deals that wouldn't have happened because a lot of times they're inexperienced brokers, right? My very complaint that I had originally is what makes the call so valuable because I'm able to structure a deal based on new information that I found because I'm talking to them. Like they would not have emailed it to me because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. I like that. Shift.
Guiltless. They're just trying to get what they want. I'm just trying to get what they want. What's the common interest? Common interest? Well, in this case, we both want to close loans. In this case, we both want to be happy. We both want to get paid. And then, all the other stuff. We want significance in our life. I usually don't go into anything besides close the loan because I got more calls to make. But, I see that someone as myself. Those guys are doing the exact same thing as me. How can I dig deep enough to see that? What did you say, Sue?
Leila said something, but she was muted. So
sorry, I was talking to Harper.
Okay.
Litter. Stinks.
Stinky kitty litter.
Yeah. I'm still arguing in my head because there was a short while when I took a break from underwriting and I was because my ex was a broker, so I was doing his stuff. And yeah, like when I didn't have a list of production loans to do, then I was happy to make calls and all that stuff. But again, it's but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What's
I
your
feel like
constraint?
your situation, Jevon, it makes perfect sense, but it doesn't make sense in my situation.
No, it's true, but it's the attachment of it. So when I was attached to getting everything done, everything that did not seem to lend to that was an attack,
Yeah.
because it would take me away from my attachment. So it's not the getting things done that is difficult. It's the attachment to the getting things done, because the attachment, then if you're in it, so then you have a choice of having the conversation or not. The suffering part that comes from having the conversation is the part that's unnecessary, because I could decline the call and be like, God bless you, broker. I hope we meet again. Or I could decline the call and be like, stop calling me. You know what I mean? Listen to the email, read the text. You could have someone walk into your office, your loan officer, and be like, hey, 1 second. And you could say, I have a heavy plate. I have a lot on my plate. It's month end. If you email me, I'll try to look at it, but I can't talk right now. Or you can be like, listen, I can't talk to you. That's not my job. Go do your job and I'll do mine. both of those would be saying no, because you have a lot to do.
Yeah, I felt that
But
yesterday. Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
I think there is that difference though of like accepting the moment that because what I'm upset about, I think, is that these people are interrupting me, and and every time, like if I've missed something on an initial or whatever decision on a review, it's because I got interrupted, right? And so I need to prevent these interruptions so that I can do my job. But it's like,
How's that working for you?
well, I've been I actually was thinking about this the other day, and I've been underwriting for 11 years now, and I had zero, like unsellable loans. And it, so by those matrix, it's working great,
Well,
but I
not
feel,
by that way. I mean, how is it working for you to have no interruptions? Do you have no interruptions?
no.
No.
And I think the underlying belief is that it's my fault. Like there's something that I need to do differently so that I get left alone. And but I'm starting to realize that it's actually that attitude is that's an illusion of control, right? That's
Especially when you're trying to control things outside of you. I mean, you can't control you. I think that's also true, but it's especially true. Can't control the puppy barking. Can't control and chewing on my jacket. Stop chewing on my jacket. Can't
have you
control
thought
the loan officer bothering you. That's
yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah.
I was that loan officer for many years. Underwriters hated me.
But
Uh,
yeah.
Hey,
Good morning.
um,
Jerry can't be here unless he has an animal.
go get your animal. Animal day. I just thought, I don't know if I don't know if it's okay to bring him in, but
Of course.
with what's going on with his family, because he's taking responsibility. So it's kind of, I've let go of control. Um, and now it's on him. And so now I feel like the burden's on him. And so I don't know if he wants to listen in and see if any of this helps.
Oh yeah. The good thing is this stuff will always help if you want it to, and it's always useless if you want it to.
He should get his head, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
One more paragraph.
Sure.
All right. This is a manual for a special curriculum intended for teachers of a special form of the universal course. There are many thousands of other forms, all with the same outcome. They merely save time. Yet it is time alone that winds on warily, and the world is very tired now. It is old and worn and without hope. There was never a question of outcome, for what can change the will of God? But time, with its illusions of change and death, wears out the world and all things in it. Yet time has an ending, and it is this that the teachers of God are appointed to bring about. For time is in their hands. Such was their choice, and it is given them.
The end of time is the atonement, and the atonement, and this is course language. Atonement is the remembering, not a destination, but it's the remembering already home, already good and complete. That this striving that I go to get somewhere else and become somewhere else and achieve something else, or get other people to do something else or act a different way or to achieve something else, all that striving is just projection. It's really just projection that things should be different. I should be different. It should be different. So you should be different. I'm projecting that out. And then I create this constant running, like the ego says, search but do not find, because it's the searching and the striving that I've created an identity by. It's who I am. And so if I stop searching and striving and accomplishing and serving and changing and domineering and emotionalizing and convincing and wooing and all that stuff that we do, if I stop, I would die. That's how we think about it. That's how it feels anyway. Yes, Leila.
Okay. On that note, I was wondering, so striving to have a relationship with somebody who's too busy to have a relationship, or doesn't communicate, and is it okay that I say all of this? I think for me, it's hard because I don't want to change his sister. She is the way that she is, and I'm good with that. But I think for me, the the time where she is the way that it is that it affects me is when, like, for example, on Thursday, it's Christmas Day morning, and we decided to do breakfast here at the house because last year she promised us this big smorgasbord of breakfast and nothing was done. His mother that just got out of the hospital was making sandwiches with her hurt knee, and his sister was on her phone with her boyfriend bidding on some shoes, and my nephew was in his room on his phone. And so I've decided I would like to, and the kids said too, I want to have Christmas at the house. We always do so we're doing that. The problem I think that I have is that in order for me to include his family, I have to buy enough food to feed everybody. And so there's only 3 of them, so I don't have to overbuy that much. So if it was extra, maybe we just eat it on the weekend a couple of days later. You know, but I think I get in my head about it a lot where I'm like, that's not fair. They haven't told us if they're coming or not, and it's Christmas Eve. I get like this anxiety and overwhelming, and I'm on him like, why haven't you gotten a response? And so for me, my boundary is like, well, if we don't hear from them by Tuesday, they're not coming on Thursday. So you need to get on it.
Uninvited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you just unpack that if you want. Well, you have the situation. The situation itself is benign, friendly. There's nothing. It doesn't mean anything, right? Somebody shows up to a breakfast. Oh, he got his animal.
Got the animal.
You're invited now. You. But then what we do, and this is a human characteristic, we like it because part of our existence is defining. And to exist or to define, by the very nature of the language of it, the word, the meaning of it, it's to set apart from. So we're taking it apart and we're saying, this is what this means. It's separate from this, right? That's what exist means. The actual Latin phrase, it comes from set apart. And so we're setting apart. So now we got this world of separation, which is the whole reason why we suffer is separation. We're separate from abundance and source and completeness. But we love it, right? We love to exist. We love to put meaning on things. And so we're gonna have this situation and we're gonna put some meaning on it. I love this shit. We're gonna meaning that crap out of it, you know? And so so now we get a chance to look at the meaning, because it's the meaning that we put on it that gives us the experience. So she says she's gonna have breakfast, and she didn't. And then the meaning is, what's the meaning as you think about it, Leila? The thing that bothered you.
I think I'm hurt that I don't feel when we went over to breakfast that morning on Christmas where we said, hey, what can we bring? She said, just bring fruit. So we had our bowl of fruit and nothing else. And his mom, scavenged some Hawaiian rolls and some sliced up deli turkey meat and cheese and put mayo on it. And that's what we had for breakfast the morning of Christmas Day. And he was like, well, we can bring cinnamon rolls. We can bring, what do you want us to bring? And she's like, oh, no, I got it all. And we got there and nothing was done. But then, she has this big dinner planned for her and her best friend's family. And she put so much effort into that. And so I feel like we're not a priority when I feel like I've made them a priority many times where I've gone to their house, brought them lunch, took them out to lunch, fed them, cleaned their dishes, took care of his mom at the hospital when she was at the hospital. His sister was there more, but I was there, and I don't do those things. I didn't do that, especially the hospital thing. Like, I really love that they invited me to be there because I know that's a very personal time because you feel like you're at your worst. So I was thankful for that. But I think I see how much he hurts and how much he wants the relationship, how much he feels like he's not a priority. And when I see the effort that I'm putting in, I'm like, I'm putting in the effort for both of us. So, they should be treating us better, treating him better. And
Layla's been the one who's put in the most effort, 100%. Like, it hasn't been me, and I don't know what that is or why, but it's been Layla. I think it's that whole gifts or whatever it is like how we show, how we deliver, how we show up. We have what we're good at. Time has come up for it recently where I don't have the time to show up because of scheduling. But I also don't make the time and plan ahead to do it. So I've been struggling with that for the last several months, using that as an excuse because of how busy we are, and it just continues to be an excuse. But it's also been 15 years I've been with Layla, and she's consistently been that person who puts in the effort and makes the suggestions and does all the things to try to orchestrate, and she's exhausted with it. And so I understand that. I see that. I know it. And then I see her going, if you put in the effort, I'll be there right with you. But if you're not going to this version of this relationship, it's like, do you even want a relationship with your family? And the answer is yes. I don't know if it's laziness or if it's just someone else has been doing it. So I haven't had to, and now I'm having to step up and do it. So I'm like, I use the same excuses with my own friends. Jevon, we played bag toss twice in the last 7-8 months. You're
Unacceptable.
you're 100 feet away.
I
Why don't
need
we
more.
do it? And it's
What the heck?
time and effort. I don't know.
I need
So
more from you. Well, a couple things I've noticed, if it's okay for me to share.
yeah, 100%.
Yes.
Leila, I asked you, what is your perception? What's the meaning that you
I
put
didn't give
on?
you an answer.
And you gave me an answer. You did sprinkle some meaning in it, but most of it was the description of the situation, and you described the scenario. And please don't take this as bad. This is
Yeah.
super normal. But that's our trick. The trick that we're playing on ourselves is obviously this means this. Let me explain what happened. Let me explain, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
They're horrible. Let me explain what happened. So it's horrible.
Yeah.
Or
Why
conversely,
it's their fault and not my fault.
yeah, or why they have the blame. Yeah, that's another version, right? Or they're wonderful. Let me explain what happened. Now, that's wonderful. That's part of the reason probably you have so many friends is you're really good at laying out stories and you're really good at chatting and you're really good at making people feel comfortable and you're all that stuff, which is wonderful. It is wonderful. It's just important, I think, when it comes to your own peace of mind, that you don't believe your own story and meaning. Like there's no story that has to have a meaning. None of those stories have to end with "now I suffer."
I understand.
Because
She's not prioritizing me as the story that I'm telling myself, and that's not fair.
she's not prioritizing me as the meaning that I have, and that means that whatever, right?
I mean nothing to her, and
Nothing. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the meaning. Now it doesn't mean that what they're doing is preferable all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that. They can still be just as unpreferable as ever. One of the things I've noticed because my mom has been going through a bunch, and I've been actually talking to her more, is the more I talk with her, I kind of give in to my rule of I'm not going to talk with you. I basically like, I'm not talking to you anymore because you drive me nuts. You spent here's my story. You spent my whole life I've spent on you doing dumb stuff, and I'm done doing it. And so I'm just going to do whatever the minimum is. And so I would just ignore her calls, ignore, which is fine. But there's a certain resistance that I have to live in when I do that. She's going to spin suffering. I don't think that it's really changed much for her. But I suffer when I actively resist her. Well, maybe even passively resist by just not talking to her. But it's still like, I still have that feeling of resistance. And resistance, it's like, this is bad. You're trying to trick me. You're trying to take advantage of me. You don't care about me. You just want money. You want me to solve your problems that you've got yourself into. I'm not going to do it, right? I'm having this whole thing in my mind every time I deny the call. And so of late, because she's actually been in the hospital and I'm the only one close enough to actually drive there, it's switched, and I've actually answered the calls and done some stuff. And it's been a lot. When I let loose of my own resistance and just talk with her, and nothing surprising, it feels better. It feels better to not have that resistance. What was I watching? I was watching some show. Oh, you know what I was watching is Pluribus. Have you ever seen that show on Apple TV? Pluribus.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's such a good one. So here's the thing about Pluribus is there's this alien signal that comes in, and they realize it's a recipe after discovering it, and they make the recipe, and this recipe ends up basically making a mind virus, so to speak, and it makes the whole world, so it spreads through the whole world really fast, but it makes the whole world have one mind. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's now no more two. Everybody says we are one. And there's all the identities. They still remember all their separate identities, but now they all suddenly, because of the mind virus, share one mind. So everybody has everybody's information in their mind, which is totally like a soul complex in the Law of One, by the way, which is rad. But then there's a handful of humans in the world left, 12 humans that didn't, for whatever reason, catch the mind virus. And so they still are their separate person. And there's this one lady named Helen or Carol, and she is basically the only miserable person on earth. Because everyone else, now that they're sharing one mind, is they're in a constant state of bliss and contentment, and everything's okay, and they want nothing more than this other self. There's only like 12 other selves. There's the one mind, right? All 8 billion people, and then there's the 12 other selves, and the 8 billion people now, the one, the joining, they want nothing more than for you to be happy. And so they they'll give you any meal, they'll give you any experience, they'll give you themselves. Like giving their body to somebody is like, of course they'll give you. It's just this body. No, it's not me, because me now is now everyone. And so they would show up. Helen was freaking out because she's like, you're trying to take over the world. You're an alien. You're different. Give me back my separate people. And she's the only miserable person on earth, quite literally. And these people just keep showing up. Like she purposefully hurt a bunch of them, and she ended up hurting herself because of it. And then they still showed up over and over for her, showed up in her hospital room, showed up and cared for her in a way that she would have died or gotten hurt. And they showed up in a way that was probably going to hurt them. And they did it anyway because they wanted her to be whole and happy. And it just made me think, wow, that is a situation where it would make sense to tell Carol to pound sand, because she's a crazy, angry person that wants everyone to leave her alone or to die. She wants the oneness to die, really. She wants it to go back to normal. And they showed up anyway with an open heart. So I guess the purpose of all that is there's no situation that I can't choose peace. There's no event that could happen that I can't choose to trust God. And like, this is what I require. Or maybe even this is like what I wanted, in some way, at some level. And my experience does not come from anybody doing anything. My experience comes from my perception of them and me. I can have peace. And, this broker calling me. But what has to happen, though, is I have to be constantly letting go of my attachments to this is how it has to be for me to have peace. This is how it has to be for me to be happy. This is how they have to act for me to be happy. My puppy cannot bark at me in the morning for me to be happy. My puppy's barking. Ah! Right. As stupid as that sounds. I was just doing that earlier. I'm like, cannot be parking. We're about to have a call. Okay, that was a rant.
It was good. Yeah. I think like we said in the beginning, we want to have the same we want to be on the same page. We want to have the same outcome, or whatever the saying was.
Same interest, yeah. So the outcome is the part that's never going to happen, because there's a new outcome for every person that they want. But you can't have the same interest.
My focus is always the outcome, I think, because I'm thinking as we're going through the store, like, oh, well, we don't know if your sister's coming, but if she is coming, we'll get, we'll do pancakes, or we'll do like let's say we want to do cinnamon rolls, but we're like, we don't know, so let's just do pancakes. Because if we get cinnamon rolls or muffins or something that can go bad, something that's more fun but can go bad, then we don't want to have too many of that. You know what I mean? that kind of thing where it's like, that's where mine gets like, I have to control. But it's like, we can be just happy with
Yeah.
pancakes. You know, I can just tell myself we're happy with pancakes, you know,
That's right.
or I'm going to have to eat 2 cinnamon.
Oh, I know. The
Or
outcomes,
we
man.
invite, yeah,
The
we
outcome.
invite the Perras and Sue over.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a little party in the grass.
That's right.
But yeah, I'm realizing more and more instead of focusing on the control of like, you know, well, she didn't get back to me, so um that's not fair. And now I have to adjust, you know, what we're eating or, you know, I don't know, I can't make other plans. I want to go for a bike ride after, but I don't know if we can because I don't know if they're going to be here. And I want to like have the mindset to know that I'm going to go for a bike ride so that I can prepare, you know, this, my mind just goes
Mm,
where,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's amazing. It really is amazing, Leila, to even see those workings. Because most people do life and they just think this is how it is. They have no idea that they're making their experience and that the outcomes are neutral. They're all neutral. They really are. But we can't have neutral. We have to put a meaning on it. So we're constantly putting meanings and we're constantly trying to force outcomes so we can have a particular meaning. It doesn't work that way. The outcomes are the outcomes. The meaning, I am assigning the meaning. The outcome is not assigning the meaning. Because each outcome can have an infinite amount of meanings. It really can. And that's mind-boggling for you to be able to look under the hood at that mechanism. It's a miracle for any of us.
Miracle.
Another miracle. Holy shit.
Holy shit. Cool.
All right.
That it for today?
That's it.
We got to finish the chapter.
We're going to get,
Oh.
did we?
Yeah.
Oh, let's finish it. Did we finish it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
Hey!
Yay, we got through.
It's a neutral.
Wow. We read the whole thing?
It's a
Yeah.
miracle.
Wow. Another miracle.
Jared said it's a neutral. I'm like, it's a miracle. It's both. I'm just kidding.
It's a miracle. All right, y'all.
So, thanks.
God bless
Happy
you.
Friday.
Thank you for meeting.
Thanks, you guys too. Are you guys enrolling Kobe in puppy preschool or?
Yeah, well,
look at
for
that
sure we're
baby.
going to. For sure
Huh?
we're going to.
Oh,
Yeah. Zoom Room does preschool for the pre-vax 2 to 4 months.
Oh, they
It's
do?
on it's on Saturdays and Sunday mornings.
Zoom
Because
room.
Zoom Room. Well, it's in Huntington, off of Beach Boulevard.
Yeah.
But every Zoom, I don't know if they have one in Fountain Valley, but like every Zoom Room seems to have it. It's always on Saturday and Sunday mornings, the very first class, because they sanitize the space like the night before or something. So
Yeah.
it's a safe place for the puppies to be, and you get to socialize them, and because they're easy from 2 to 4 months. All they want to do is sleep, and then they start teething. So it's really important to like get that foundation down while they're easy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good. All right.
Oh,
Zoom
Mama
room.
Sue. She's your dog guru.
I know. And I'll take all the tips you can give me.
Yeah. If anyone's gonna give you tips, it's Sue. She does all the research. I love it.
All right,
Cool,
Zoom room.
okay.
I'm on it.
Happy Friday. Have a great day.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Thank you all.
Jared said thank you.
Bye, Jared.
Bye.
Bye.